Do any of you remember the interview with the Nigerian brother, who's an actor who said, they're like, you guys coddle your kids here in America. Do y'all remember that interview? He was essentially saying, like, we're telling grown adult folks who are in their 30s, 40s, 20s, oh, you're so young, you got plenty of time, and all this and that. We are inebriating them to the point that you have this is why the rise of the homosexual exists. This is why the rise of the man child exists. This is the reason why. You want to know why it exists and why there's actually a saying? That's the actual example. You as parents, now I'm not talking about any of y'all specifically, but you as parents out there coddle the shit out of y'all kids. And they grow up to be so weak in every aspect. This is why we have a rise in cockholes out here because they're barely useful. This is crazy. And this is the one of the biggest reasons why y'all these young people don't know anything about life. And the other thing I wrote down, I was like, yo, y'all as parents, like your child trying to discover and all this and that, y'all don't take your kids out enough. Take them to museums, plays, operas, travel, experience different cultures, other foods, different states, other countries. Get them a passport. Bring them with you. Let them explore the world. You're so busy trying to have your hot girl summer and be on yachts and all that stuff that you forget that your child actually wants to see the world as well. They want to see and experience it, as opposed to only you being the selfish individual. That's why these kids are growing up and trying to understand themselves. They don't have an understanding of who they are in the world because you don't usher that world to them. You don't walk with them in terms of all these different life experiences. Read with them. You know what I'm saying? God forbid people start picking up a book and actually reading to their kids. We wouldn't have grown full adults that are reading at a sub 5 grade level.
All right, let's go to Angie and then Ash. Then we come to Cloud.
Louise, I do agree that we need to put more emphasis on education. I think that if we had more knowledge and more education, we would be able to not only navigate other areas better, but definitely the romantic realm. And the other thing is, I just want to say that I think that because women having women being necessarily liberated, and I'm not talking about liberated specifically with sex, because I do feel like there should be some regard, there should be some practice of preservation, right? Because your body is precious and that does mean something. But I think that because society has been male dominated for so long, because women's liberation is relatively new, many men on a psychological level are threatened by women's autonomy, you know. And that's why you have so much pushback with when women say, if I'm single, I'm good for right now. That's not when it's not saying I'm good forever. I never want to be with somebody, but it's saying at this part of my life, it's value in really making decisions and exploring, and not exploring things sexually, but exploring things in general. Because when we come into this world as individuals, not as men and women, we all have a purpose and we all have a value according to God. My value is not contingent upon what a man is willing to pay or the level of energy or attention a man is willing to give me. If he does give me that, then I'm able to say, okay, I choose that. And I feel like because women have the choice, it's threatening to a lot of insecure men or men that just haven't evolved on a psychological level to the point where it's just like, I understand a woman's value and I'm not threatened by that. I understand her contribution and I understand how how she contributes to not only this relationship, but in her singleness, possibly she could contribute to the community. She could contribute to society. And I don't understand why that's a problem. Why does that have to be a negative thing or something that makes her less than qualifiable enough to get, I know I said that wrong, but to get married? It doesn't make practical sense. Y'all have to make it make sense outside of your ego.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Angie.
So
You said that. Hold on. Let me ask this one quick question. You said that men need to evolve. Can you elaborate specifically what is it that men need to evolve?
Men need to evolve as far
No,
as
evolve.
evolve.
Evolve. Yeah, you said
Or
evolve.
the ideal or paradigm as far as roles, because society has shifted in regards to what society demands from a man and a woman. We have to shift our expectations for each other. I'm not saying that the woman needs to be a leader, but I'm saying is men needs to respect that women are individuals, and we're not only made to just make your life better. We have a purpose outside of being with a man. Some of us have a purpose
Exactly.
outside of being with.
Yeah, but I would argue, but I would argue that men make women's lives every day easier. Let's
No,
be very honest. Yo, do you take for granted? Look. You take for granted, given that the zip code in which you live in, but there are no bombs falling on your head, and there are no people outside homeless at your door. Also, you have the ability to call for fire, police, and everything else. You know what I'm saying? We have civilized and controlled the world in such a way that we take for granted. A lot of you don't have passports, and a lot of you have not stepped on enough continents out there. This does not apply. Please let it fly. But a lot of you need to get outside your four borough city and go out into the world and really experience and take your kids with you so they can actually see this as well. But thank God I experienced this when I was young, man, because I would have been a freaking tyrant.
Ashley, speak your mind. Speak it.
Oh, hell no. I'm sick of y'all speaking your goddamn mind. That's the problem. Look, so
King,
you know what that
King,
woman had
you
her value
speaking your
was?
mind too.
Her value is that goddamn yeah, she got value, man. I'm gonna sit there and say she got value for 20 goddamn minutes. That's the only value she has. It's a goddamn ragged ass vagina some man's gonna use and abuse and throw her ass to the street. So she had 38 years to try to figure this shit out, but yet she still hasn't figured it out yet. Yeah, she's not choosing to be single. She's not. I said it before. She's not. No man chose to be with her ass because they realize her real value is zero, nothing, Nathan. She has none other than 20 minutes.
Baby,
He's
most men
worthless.
about
Who
you.
wants her stanky ass?
You
She's
want to
not
know what's
good for
interesting?
that. She can't do shit. What does she bring? She brings nothing. That's why she started talking about
Hold
the
on.
men and all of the mental issues. No, ain't no men don't have the mental. That's the men she was
Who you
choosing.
talking
A
to?
real man,
You know what's funny
she
about what
has
Angie said
no
though?
value. Nothing at all.
Hold on. I want to add something. You know what's funny about what you said, Angie, about American women like to constantly explain how their value isn't centered around men or valued around family, right? But if you look at the industries that women predominantly enter, right? You look at the industries. You have childcare, which is essentially doing the same exact role but for hire, right? Childcare. You have healthcare, which is again nurturing role, right? Same thing. You have education, usually educating children, same exact role men asking you to play. And then the other one is sex work. Those are the four top industries that you find women working in. But yet women will consistently tell you that I don't need to work for a man or for a family, but then will leave the house to go do the same tasks. But instead of monetizing the tasks as a whole, they're monetizing them individually. So a sex worker is selling her vagina in transactions. A daycare worker is selling her nurturing instinct in smaller transactions for other people's children. Someone who's working in healthcare, but it's all the same thing. So it's actually kind of ridiculous to say that our purpose is beyond that. But when you try to find purpose outside of that, you go and do the same exact things. Doesn't make sense.